has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
As if I didn't need any more of a reason to be super excited about this film, December cannot get here soon enough. So from this, of course, I got a lot of nostalgia from this trailer. Reminds me a lot of 4, 5, and 6. As far as this first shot that we get in the trailer, really reminded me of the Nazi film from 1935, Triumph of the Will, which I know is a film that George Lucas used and was inspired by a lot of the different shots and whatnot of the Empire that we get in the original Star Wars trilogy. But that's one thing that this film, I believe, is going to do fairly well, is there's going to be a lot of nostalgia in it. There's going to be a lot of throwback, memorable things that we see in this new film that remind us of the original trilogy. This first shot, again, is a perfect example of that, showing us the scope, the massiveness of the Empire. We see them all together in this huge rally where we essentially have someone who's powerful in the Empire speaking, and it just really reminded me of those initial shots in episode 4. And if you look closely at this shot, there's so many Imperial troops that are just in rows and rows and rows as far back as the eye can see. There are a ton of people here. So this is such a cool shot because I want to know like what's going on at this rally. And I'm also curious to know what planet this is. I'm not too familiar with the worlds of Star Wars, if you will, outside of the films. I know there's a lot of people that read comics and a lot of people that read the books, so they might be a little bit more familiar with what planet this is based on the terrain. But this planet looks really cool, and just the sheer scope of this shot is so badass. Like there's a ton of people just kind of lined up, and they're all focused on these group of people that are center stage, and I really want to know what they're talking about. 4 more months until we figure it out. So this is probably going to be the first of, I'd say, probably 40 different TV spots they're going to do, but I think this is actually technically the first TV spot. So I'm kind of curious to see like how many they're actually going to do for this film. I know Star Wars is going to be a massive film, and that's putting it lightly. But this TV spot, even with the one extra shot that we got, the music, the overall look of it was impeccable. It looks good. I don't need to see anything else from this film to know that I'm probably going to see it about 10 times in the first week that it comes out. Overall, the initial shot that we got in the beginning of this spot, I was super excited with because, again, it really threw me back into the first trilogy, and it reminded me a lot of that traditional Empire rally setting where you have the Emperor, you have Vader addressing essentially everyone that's worth something, showcasing their power to the entire, well, in this case, the entire galaxy. So this TV spot starts off with what I believe to be new music. I'm not familiar with it. I've watched it probably like 10 times now, and it doesn't sound familiar. Is it a new Star Wars track from John Williams, or is it something that's been pulled from a different trailer or a song that's been pulled from something else? That's what I'm curious to know, because the music in the first 15 seconds is badass. I'm like, oh, this sounds really cool. Like, I'm always trying to see with like these new Star Wars trailers, like what can I hear that's new? If this is Star Wars music, I'm super excited because it sounds really cool. If it's not, then I'm still super excited because I'm curious to find out what song that is so I can save it. Now, the second half of this trailer starts off with probably one of my favorite Star Wars songs, and that's Battle of the Heroes. I've probably listened to that song while I'm studying, maybe, no exaggeration, probably like 100 to maybe even more than 200 times. That is one of my favorite John Williams songs ever made. For a long time, it was my ringtone. Shows you how much of a Star Wars nerd I am. But definitely love the second half of this trailer. We get more of the action. There's not a whole lot new in it, just that initial shot that we get first. It's just such a cool shot. Again, it reminds me of Triumph of the Will. But outside of that shot, we don't get anything new. Everything is pretty much recycled from the previous Star Wars trailers that we've gotten, which I'm okay with because it's still badass and it's still Star Wars. So if it's Star Wars, I'm game 100% of the time, 110% of the time actually. Again, I'm really looking forward to this movie. This pretty much just tops everything. Star Wars is something that is near and dear to me. As we get closer and closer to the film coming out, I'm probably gonna be doing a reaction video up to like international TV spot number 35, where we get like 1 millisecond of a new shot or something like that. It's gonna be hilarious because I'm sure I'm probably gonna be posting a ton of these TV spot reaction videos. I'm sure we're probably gonna get like 1, maybe 2 more big trailers. Outside of that, I'm sure Abrams is gonna keep it pretty much on the DL. He's not gonna spoil a whole lot, but I'm really looking forward to kind of what they show off next in some of these international TV spots. But this is just my reaction to the first one, or what I believe to be the first one. I loved it. I'm gonna go back and probably watch it about another 10 times in the next hour. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.